Most men stay invisible because they do nothing to stand out. They walk through life out of shape, poorly dressed, socially awkward, and then they wonder why women never notice them. But here's the hard truth, bro. You don't need to be rich, you don't need to be famous, you don't need to be genetically gifted to be desirable to women. You just need to transform in the right areas. And if you lock in for 6 months, focusing on your physique, your style, confidence, and social status, you can completely change the way people see you, especially women. And more importantly, how you see yourself. Okay? So if you're tired of being overlooked, I'm going to give you the exact blueprints to become the kind of man who turns heads wherever you go. Because that's what you want, right? That's what the ascended man is all about. It's just an aura that you give off, okay? But before we get into it, welcome to the Ascended Man. My name is Brian. I served in combat with the Marines at the age of 20. I was a certified personal trainer for over a decade, and I've coached tons of men to peak performance. And now my mission is to help you forge strength, elevate your spirit, and lead with purpose. Let's get into it. Let me take you back a few years ago. Let's say 5 or 6 years ago. I was stuck in the same cycle most guys are in today. Chasing girls, I was broke, racked up my credit card debt, living paycheck to paycheck, hooked on porn, obsessing over a woman who didn't really care about me. I was lost. I had no direction. And the worst part was I thought that I was just having bad luck and it just wasn't the right girl. But the truth is I had to look at myself in the mirror and I realized that I was the problem. And maybe you're sitting here right now wondering if you're the problem or if you're doing something wrong. Well, you definitely need to look at yourself in the mirror because there's a lot that you can control. If you're not where you want to be in your life right now, this might sound harsh, but it's 100% your fault. If you're not where you want to be right now in your life, it's 100% your responsibility to fix yourself, fix your situation, and get out of it. But several years back, 5, 6 plus years ago, I had not too much going for me. I mean, I was in the Marine Corps. That gave me some confidence. I had a pretty decent physique, but, physically was okay, pretty mediocre physique. Mentally and financially, I was not in a good headspace. I was depressed. I had no idea really what I wanted to do. I had switched different career paths, and I spent 4 years in college and didn't have a degree at that time. I had no mission, and I felt like I was losing tons of confidence. I didn't really have any real value. And if I wanted a different life, I had to become a different man. That was the point that I got to. So I locked in. I focused ruthlessly on self-improvement. I fixed my body. I upgraded my style. I built my confidence. I cut out distractions from my life, cut people that were negative influences in my life. And I just locked in, bro. And I leveled up in every way possible over the course of a few years. This was around 2019. So I had been out of the Marine Corps for about 4, 5 years or so. And I got to a point where I was eating McDonald's, fast food every night. I was working an overnight job. I was watching porn every day. I was still chasing women as well and spending money I didn't have. I actually ended up racking up like $10,000 of credit card debt. And at one point, my checking account was like negative $600. Yeah, I had to actually get help from my family. Fortunately, they were able to help me. I mean, it was super embarrassing. I was like 26 or 27 at the time. No reason why I should be in that position. I had let my body go. I was in the gym here and there, but there were some times where I didn't even work out for several weeks or even a couple months. I was just in a really, really bad headspace. And then I decided to just get my shit together. I had been certified as a personal trainer before for a couple years, and then I decided to get recertified as a trainer, switch career paths. I basically ended up going back, finishing out my degree, my bachelor's degree. It took me 7 years to finish. I started my own personal training business. I completely transformed my physique and started doing my own coaching program, helping clients in person, helping clients remotely, because I completely changed my physique. I mean, I went from being very mediocre to being completely shredded in literally 6 months. And everybody was asking me like, hey, like, what did you do? Can you help me? And so I started helping people like that. And then that was also when I started getting more attention from women as well. So obviously getting more respect from men, getting respect from women. And, fast forward, I ended up finishing my degree out. I ended up getting a corporate job in sales, drastically increasing my income. I went from making like maybe $45,000 a year to, doubling that basically in a matter of a couple years. It was just a snowball effect in a positive direction. I was listening to podcasts. I started reading every day. I started meditating. I started, getting up early, going to the gym, sticking to a schedule, being disciplined. I just said enough was enough. And for 6 months, I locked in. I went ghost. I was basically doing that monk mode. You know how everybody's talking about monk mode? Well, I did monk mode for technically 1 whole year. I had so much positive momentum for 6 months. I wasn't sleeping around. I was just locked in on my goals. And I killed my credit card debt. I completely flipped my life around within 6 months to a year. So you can really capitalize on that time. And fast forward now, it's funny because suddenly the same women who ignored me, they started to notice. Exes, literally every ex had tried to hit me up, sliding my DMs, reaching out to me, every single one. Or if they didn't, maybe they were from like 10 years ago and they're still looking at my Instagram story when my Instagram profile was public. But yeah, everything changed, dude. It's crazy. And that's the exact blueprint I'm about to give to you, because when you apply this, you won't just feel different. You're going to become unrecognizable in the best ways possible. So get out your handy notepad, a pen, whatever. Write this down. Step 1, build a physique that commands respect. Women are biologically drawn to strong, fit men. It signifies that you can protect her and her offspring. And your body is your walking status symbol. And when you're in shape, people treat you differently. You get more attention from women. You also earn respect from men. Now, here's what to do. Okay? Lift weights 4 to 5 times per week. And throw in a day of yoga if you can. Hot yoga. Highly recommend it. Strength equals confidence, and a strong frame instantly boosts your presence. Get to like 10 to 15% in body fat. If you build good muscle on you, this is totally sustainable. You can have visible abs, strong shoulders, and you'll have that lean build that will automatically make you stand out, having that V taper. Make sure you focus on the compound lifts, deadlifts, bench, squat, shoulder press, all the heavy main lifts. That's really going to be your bread and butter. Prioritize good posture and movement. When you walk with confidence, people notice. You don't have to be the tallest guy. I'm only 5'9", 170 pounds. Pretty average sized dude. But people can tell. People can notice. Actually, when I was just standing at the airport last night, and this attractive young girl is sitting on a bench near me, about maybe like 5 or 6 feet away from me, and it's in the Uber area. And I live in Atlanta. Atlanta's kind of crazy, a lot of sketchy people, and there's a lot of people around there. It's at night, and she's sitting on the bench about 6 feet away from me, and I'm waiting on my Uber ride. But I know she comes, and she's by herself. She comes and just kind of stands like right in front of me, but just to the side. And the reason why is because this girl is like 5 feet tall, petite little girl. She probably just wanted to be near someone who, if in the event, God forbid, something was to happen, that she's near a man that could, protect her, right? I didn't say a word. It's just an aura that you give off. So slouching shoulders, none of this shit, man. Weak energy. And in terms of your physique, you don't need to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to be completely shredded. You just need to look like a man who takes care of himself at the end of the day, all right? Step number 2, Dress like you give a damn, bro. Most guys dress like they don't care. And you're not Steve Jobs. You're not Johnny Depp. You're not, Justin Bieber, right? If you look average, you'll be treated as average. Now, you don't have to wear expensive designer brands. I don't wear anything expensive really at all. But just upgrading your style is one of the fastest ways to change how people perceive you. So wear well-fitted clothes. Baggy, sloppy outfits, it's going to kill your look. Stick to masculine colors, black, navy, earth tones. Solid colors, they make you look well put together. And they're very interchangeable. That's the thing is you could just literally get 10 different pieces of clothing and interchange the outfits. That's a cool thing about being a guy. You don't have to get crazy complicated with it. Dude, you can literally go to like Target, Kohl's, any of these places. When you are fit, it doesn't matter what brand you're wearing. So focus more on investing in building your physique than some fancy brands. Because I've been able to be with plenty of women and I've got tons of compliments on my style and I literally just wear what I want. But I find stuff that I can interchange and it's low maintenance and it works for me, You also got to find your style. You got to find your edge. Be a little different, right? You don't have to always just go with the trends. Invest in key pieces, right? Invest in key pieces for your outfit. Have a couple, 1 or 2 solid watches if watches is your thing. Have a sharp haircut. Get your haircut every, every few weeks, at least every month, but every 3 weeks or so. Make sure you're trimming your beard if you have one. Get well put together, man. You don't need designer brands. Again, you do not need expensive stuff. You just need to look intentional about how you present yourself. That's all there is to it, all right? Step number 3, master confidence and social skills. You got to understand that your energy makes or breaks your presence. You can be the best dressed, most jacked guy in the room, but if you lack confidence, you're going to still fade into the background. Like, you can have all the money, you can have the status, the Instagram followers, the job, everything, but if you just don't have the internal confidence, or if you don't understand women, or you don't even know how to talk to women, you're going to kill the attraction. So when you're in a conversation, slow down your speech a little bit. Speak slowly and with authority. Rush speech signals insecurity. So when you're talking with a girl, I'm talking a little bit more fast right now because I don't want this video to draw on too long, but slow it down. Pay attention to what you're saying. Be concise. Say what you need to say in as few words as possible. Control your words. Own your presence. Also, master eye contact and body language, because everyone pays attention. Whether you're going for a job interview or if you're on a date with a girl, look them right in the eyes. Master eye contact, body language. Don't be looking around, kind of slumped over, hands in your pockets, palms out. This is open body language. Strong, steady eye contact. Instant confidence. All right. Now let's talk about confidence. How do you get confidence? Well, you build confidence by setting goals for yourself and crushing those goals. That's what gives you confidence. Because when I was 18 years old, straight out of high school, I literally hadn't done shit in my life. I didn't really have that. I didn't really have any confidence. I mean, I had been working out in the gym for a little bit for, a couple years, but still hardly even looked like a workout. It wasn't until I went in the Marines for 4 years that actually instilled a lot of internal confidence in me, because I did some hard shit when I was in the Marine Corps. Next thing is lead in the social settings, right? So we want to lead in social settings. Don't wait for others to dictate the vibe. Take control of the situation. Be the guy who creates momentum. Now, I know particularly, I have one friend. He is the life of the party. He's always planning stuff. And we have a good dynamic because we're different, but we both complement each other well. But you want to be the guy that creates momentum. If you don't have friends like that, you need to go find better friends to hang out with that you guys can play off each other, right? But at the end of the day, confidence isn't about faking it. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's not about faking it till you make it. It's about building yourself into a man who naturally moves with certainty. You naturally move with certainty. Think about James Bond, how he executes in his life. Go watch some James Bond movies. That'll give you a good picture of the masculine archetype that we're talking about here, right? But you also got to be yourself, right? Be your authentic self. I'm not asking you to be someone that you're not. Step 4. Build social status that attracts without effort. Now, what do I mean by that? Women are drawn to men who are respected by other men. So expand your network, join a gym, attend business meetups, or start a side hustle. Maybe start martial arts, maybe a run club. Maybe, I don't know, pick something. Maybe you want to go in the military. I don't know, pick something. But you need to get around men, you need to get around winners. And be the guy who introduces people, man. Build connections, make things happen. That energy makes you magnetic. You need to upgrade your environment too. Who you surround yourself with determines who you meet. Let me say that again. Who you surround yourself with determines who you meet. So if you're in proximity to people that are successful, it's going to be highly likely that you're going to meet other successful people. You are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Now, this also relates to people that you spend time with listening to. So stuff that you're consuming maybe, right? Who do you have in your ear most of the time? When you're respected by other people, women pick up on it immediately. They absolutely pick up on it immediately. It's social proof, right? Let's say if you're hanging around, if you're on your personal development journey, right? And you're trying to get to the next level, better yourself, right? Of course, because that's why we're here. But then you still got some friends that aren't really on the same trajectory, and you're with a girl, right? And you're hanging with your friends, and she sees the schmucks that you're hanging out with. That's going to be a direct reflection of you. You always want to make sure that you're hanging out with people who are a true, honest, direct reflection of you. So if they don't align with you, then you probably need to go find some better friends, all right? Remember this. Success leaves clues always. There's proof of how this works. Look around, dude. There are countless men who went from being overlooked to desired just by applying this formula here. All right, this is basic shit. I'm not trying to overcomplicate it. I mean, take for example the guy who he was overweight and insecure, and then he lost 50 pounds in a year. I mean, he built muscle, changed his jobs, left the relationships that were no longer serving him, the toxic relationships, the energy vampires, rather. And that guy became unrecognizable. There's also the guy who was feeling quiet and invisible, and then he learned social skills. He built confidence and started leading conversations. So maybe if you're a guy who's quieter and you are a little bit more on the reserve side, I highly encourage you to start reading more, communication, interpersonal communication. There's some really great YouTube channels out there in general. But you also just have to apply. You have to get out there, because you can read all the books, you can watch all the YouTube channels, that you can do all this stuff, but it's only 50% of it. Do you understand that? So you have to go out and actually apply this stuff. Otherwise, it doesn't mean shit. There's also, the guy who was completely broke and directionless. I mean, dude, God. 6 years ago, I was $15,000 credit card debt, no money, an apartment with 3 other roommates, working 2 jobs I didn't like. I was working at like Best Buy, doing some security job, and I was trying to get my personal training certification renewed. Got that renewed. I was depressed. I was eating like crap. I fixed my diet, started meal prepping, eating better. I started, locking in. I cut porn out of my life, and I started locking in. I built my own business. I ended up getting into a corporate job, making more money there, leveling up financially. And suddenly, I had more options. But it's not suddenly. It's not like an overnight thing, right? This happens month after month, year after year. But, if I did it, if these other guys have done it before, so can you. It's really the small daily habits that create massive change over the long term. You don't need a miracle. You just need daily execution. There's literally no one coming to save you right now. There's no Superman. It's just you. So here's what you do every day to transform in 6 months. All right, you ready? Write this down. Train hard. Lift weights. Stretch. Do yoga. Move with purpose. Feed your mind daily. Read books. Listen to podcasts. YouTube channels. Consume high value content, but be careful what road you slip down to. It's a slippery slope. There's some toxic stuff out there, but learn about the difference between male and female psychology. Get into spirituality. Learn about whatever it is that you want to fucking learn about. That's what you do, bro. That's really what it comes down to. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, because if I could just give my younger self a piece of advice, it would be fuck what anybody else thinks. Do what you want to do. That's it. But if you're really trying to make some serious progress in 6 months, you gotta eliminate the distractions. You gotta cut out the excessive social media, right? Consumption, video games, and just other time wasting habits. Because if you don't have at least $10,000 in your bank account, you shouldn't be playing video games at all. And look, I'm not entirely against video games. I have a PS5 here. I've got an Xbox, but guess what? I never turn it on, dude. I never turn it on because I'm so busy. I see time as such a valuable asset, a depreciating asset that you can't get back. And I realize that my time is the most valuable asset there is on earth, my energy. I don't want it going in places that are not giving me a high return on my investment, right? Read books about communication, upgrade your communication, speak clearly, project confidence, own your space. Don't be, sitting all man spread, right? Don't be sitting all like, all narrow and shit. And so key here, you cannot miss this. Surround yourself with winners. Being around high value men is going to force you to level up in your life. And I can promise you, if you commit to this for 6 months, you will not recognize yourself. And more importantly, dude, the world won't see you the same way. Nobody will. And you won't see yourself the same way. So, final words, time to level up. If you're tired of being overlooked, take control right now. Right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, not Monday. Right now. Take control. Most men are just going to watch this, agree with it, and change nothing. But if you're serious about becoming the strongest, sharpest, most confident version of yourself, start now. Start now. Right now. When's the best time to start the business? Now. When's the best time to leave the job? Right now. Like this video, drop a comment down below. Something that you're going through, something that resonated with you. Don't forget to subscribe, because this is the Ascended Man. No more blending in. No more waiting. Let's go.